Hi Aries. This is the second time I'm making this video. My computer died as I made you an awesome video, and so it didn't save. I'll just preface this by saying that if I refer back to cards that weren't there, I'm sorry, but I just have this one fresh in my mind from before. So this is your monthly reading for April 11th through May 11th. And this is for anyone who is Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So if this is your first time tuning in, hi, thanks for coming. If this is not your first time, thanks for coming back. I appreciate all your likes, shares, subscribes. And then if you would like to get notified of the daily tarot that I'm doing that on Facebook. So if you have a Facebook account, you just like the Tarot-blee Accurate page, and then those should show up in your feed every day. Okay, so how I'm doing this is the same as usual, in which we're going to break this down for career and money, home life, health, singles love, couples love, and then we'll do like a week by week breakdown at the very end of what you can expect. So first thing, Two of Wands pops out, and this is in regards to career. Now in the reading that deleted, kind of a similar energy. I don't remember exactly which card it was, but it was kind of saying, you know, all of a sudden you're looking outside of what is familiar and kind of being open to new opportunities. Now, the opportunities that might be presented to you are going to be very good opportunities for you to take. Creative, exciting, a lot of new growth in those. So don't be closed off to new opportunities in the workplace or in your work life, okay? Now, in regards to money, what's going on for Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising, April 11th through May 11th. And so we've got the Seven of Pentacles. This fellow here, he's put in a lot of hard work, and he's finally starting to reap the rewards of that work. Now, he's had to wait a while for that money to come in, but it's finally showing up. This card here is the Five of Swords, and it's cautioning you, though, which came up earlier as well in your previous reading, about maybe having to make tough decisions, tough calls, but then also about like that concept of, would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? So sometimes, and this could be in work or in your family life, you want to make sure that, you know, you tell somebody something once, but you're not kind of a dick about it. Like, don't just keep going on and on and on. Like, I told you so, I told you so. Because they're going to realize anyway that you're right. And they'll say, hey, man, you know what? I'm sorry. You were right. I should have listened to you. And that's like, that's better for you to hear it that way, instead of them like having this negative impression of you, like, wow, you were really mean. You know, like, why couldn't you just let me make my own mistakes, kind of thing. Okay, so just be cautious of that. What else is going on for you in home life? We've got the Ace of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So new thoughts, new ideas, coming clean for some of you, being honest, starting a new course. Now, for some of you, that will sort of disrupt the way that other people think about you. So if you've had to come clean about something, or if someone's had to come clean to you about something because it's not necessarily clear who's who here in the cards, it does kind of change the way that they think, right? So if somebody's been lying to you, you kind of like, wow, you know, like, I didn't think you were a liar, and like, I don't really think of you the same anymore. Like, I don't find you as awesome as before. Like, I thought you had your shit together. Oh my gosh, I just cussed. I thought you had your stuff together, and really, you kind of don't, you know? So, but this has to happen. It has to, because otherwise there's a lot of disharmony in your life otherwise. And it's good because it prevents you or anyone surrounding you from like going off and doing like wild and crazy things that could really be a detriment to life. So make sure that if you're kind of harboring a secret, that you come clean about it to the right people this month, because otherwise you could really end up harming yourself or harming your relationship with them. And you know what? It's actually going to clear up a lot of anxiety and worry that you have. Like, because it's scary if you're like hiding a secret or if you are lying about something, um, because you're afraid you're going to be found out all the time. Like, just coming clean, even though it's really difficult, can be a huge stress reliever. Or if somebody comes clean to you, try to take that as be like as supportive as possible and just say, wow, you know, like I know that was super hard for you to be honest about that, but I'm glad you did. And, you know, it relieves your own stress too. Like if you are kind of suspicious, like, wow, I'm not sure that I can trust this person, and then they come clean, like you see them in a new light and they all of a sudden become much more trustworthy. So that could go either way. In regards to those of you who are seeking out love, or maybe you're not seeking out love, but you're single right now and you are Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising, things might not change in your situation right now. I know that you're looking for a change, and those things might take longer for you than you want them to, and you might not be having as much fun being single as you did when you first became single. But, you know, these things take time to meet a suitable match. You have to get more stable on your own, it looks like, first. And that's not to say that any of you are unstable, but it looks like right now, this came up in the reading that I recorded for you guys earlier, whereas some of you are going to be making a big move, okay? And this could be like a home move. This could be like a transition in your work life. This could be leaving a relationship that is like verbally or emotionally abusive. This could be like refinancing, selling a house. This could be anything like that. But it's like a major shift in your life, usually like in regards to work or home. This could be sending your child to a different school. This could be anything like that. Taking a job like in sales or something where you have to travel a lot. So it's probably not the best time anyway to be finding a new person, because you wouldn't be able to give them quite enough emotional like fulfillment. Okay. You just don't have that to offer right now. Right now is about getting clear and like really sorting out your thoughts and what are you going to do next. So unfortunately, if you're looking for love, now's maybe not the best time through May 11th. If you are coupled, Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising sign, what do we have for you? April 11th through May 11th. And we have the Lovers card. And then we have the Two of Pentacles card, the Three of Swords card in reverse, and the Seven of Wands. So a lot of similar cards actually from the first reading I recorded. So you may be connecting like in a more passionate, like physical way with your partner, but not necessarily emotionally this month. Things might be like a little bit out of balance in your home life or like in your work life, like in regards to your stability. And probably a lot of that is because of that big shift that you're making in other realms. But these things are actually good things. They are not like things that are heartbreaking or disappointing. They actually lead to good outcomes. So maybe if your partner is like, hey, I don't think you should take that job, or I don't think we should move, absolutely be like, you know what? Yes, we should. Because these things are actually going to bring us new opportunities with all of these Wands cards that you had showing up. But then also these things are going to work out really well for us. They are not going to be disappointing or heartbreaking or sad. Like these are going to be actually really, really good things. These are the things that we need to be doing. And so like if that's the area where that element of honesty and truth comes, then you just want to say, you know what, look, honestly, this is what I think we need to do. Like I've thought this through and this is what I think is best for me, for you, for us. So that's kind of your advice with that. Now moving on to the week by week breakdown. So for April 11th through April 18th, what are the positive energies for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising? And we have the Lovers card. So yeah, good relationships. And it doesn't necessarily mean like a lover if you're single. It could just be like a friendship, any sort of partnership. Or it could be people admiring you. What are the challenges? The challenges are going, okay, well, I'm having these new thoughts, I'm having these new ideas, and I'm thinking I want to move forward with them, but that does mean sacrifice. It does mean that there are some things that I have to leave behind me in the past in order to go forward. I have to close a door entirely before I walk through the next one, and that can be a little bit challenging and difficult. And so you need to find like the excitement and the passion just to do it, just to go ahead with it, even though sometimes that's hard. Your advice is the King of Cups in reverse. So don't really be sad about the things you have to leave behind, because the things that are new to come, while they're a mystery, if you trust that they're going to be really good things for you, new opportunities and, things with growth that are really, really great for your life, then there's nothing to be sad about. Now, as I said that, these two popped out, and it's saying, if you do not get enthusiastic and excited about going forward, then you will not be able to go forward without regret. So you do have to find your enthusiasms, because when this card is this way, like, it's about leaving, and this card also came up in the previous reading, where it's like, this guy had a lot of happiness and like emotional fulfillment when he was standing over here, and then he decided, you know what though, instead of the Eight of Cups, I want the 10 of Cups. So I'm going to make this shift. I'm going to cross this river to greener pastures. You see, it's slightly greener over here than it is here. But if you do not get enthusiastic and take advantage of these opportunities that are presenting themselves, you're just going to stay back here, and you're always going to wonder if good enough was good enough, or if there was always something better that you could have achieved. And the answer is there is. So caution there. Now, April 19th through April 25th for Aries Sun, Moon, and Rising. This week's energy is the Nine of Pentacles. So feeling pretty good about yourself, feeling pretty happy, pretty sexy, feeling kind of glamorous this week. So maybe you bought some new outfits, maybe you got a new car, maybe you did get a new job. So good for you, feeling pretty good. Maybe you are... maybe like results of exercise or diet are starting to show. So your challenge is not to take a rest, though, from whatever you're doing, whatever's bringing you that energy. Your advice is to find balance, though. So it doesn't mean keep going to extremes. If you have been, sometimes your body does need to rest, your brain doesn't work well, your body doesn't work well if you're not getting enough sleep. However, you need to find a balance in your life. So it says don't completely quit what you're doing, but maybe don't focus on it so hard. Now, April 26th through May 2nd, what do we have going on for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising? And we've got the Page of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune as your challenge card, and then the Page of Cups for your advice card. So you might be thinking about new opportunities, new ideas, new business plans, new adventures. You might be planning a vacation, something like that, getting excited about different things. Now, what the challenge is kind of a tipping of the scales, a change in fate, okay? Something may come up, and so your advice, like, that might put a damper on this, or it might just send you blazing in the right direction. But it's cautioning you, saying, hey, you might want to put more like swords energy into this. You might want to put more thinking into it instead of just heart energy, because it might be kind of wild, all right? Now, your advice for this is not to be like too emotionally invested. You have to figure out a way to be a little bit more sword-minded, as I mentioned, like more think clearly, logically, things like that, because your ideas are not totally crazy, but they may seem that way to other people. And until you can figure out a way to express them and like have like a good plan on how you're going to do it and why it makes sense to do it right now, people aren't really going to support that very well, and things are not going to go very well for you. So your ideas are good, and you are rightly enthusiastic about it, but just take some more time to think it through before you act on them. They should still be in the idea phase, because you have 2 page cards, which are new like thoughts. They're not action cards yet, okay? So just be mindful of that. Then May 3rd through the 11th. So like if you're thinking of starting a new business, like don't just like jump the gun and like go buy up all this equipment and things like that, because you have to put more thought into it first. It's a great idea. Just don't go blazing ahead quite yet. So this is the one that jumped out, the Fool. And then we have the Five of Cups as your challenge. And then your advice is the Ten of Pentacles. So what this is talking about is now taking those new ideas the next week after you have them and starting to put them into action. Do you know how things are going to go? Absolutely not. Because it was kind of an idea that was a little bit risky, right? But you're going ahead with those, and you are like challenged though to go, okay, wait a minute. Here are the positives. Here are the negatives. And the things that go wrong, don't focus on those. Focus on the things that are going right, because that's how you're going to, with the law of attraction, generate more stability, more growth, more success, and abundance, okay? So go ahead, take those risks, but make sure that you focus on the positive things and not the things that are negative. So any challenges that you have, just say, oh, well, it's a learning opportunity. I've learned how I want to do things in the future, and focus on the things that you're doing right. If you have employees in like a new business venture, applaud the things that they're doing well and not the things that they aren't, because then this brings you to a place of like great stability, a lot of abundance. And this could be like physical, like material abundance. It could be recognition, success, anything like that. But this is Pentacles. So this is all about like actual things that are tangible, okay? This is like being able to pass on like money to your children and things like that. So if this is in regards to business especially, make sure that you're super focused on the positive and not the negative, okay? So if you'd like a personal or private reading, all of my information is below in the description box, and that's how you can get a hold of me. But otherwise, until next time, bye, Aries. Mwah!